Hi students, it's Dr. Marks, and I want to quickly review the idea of dummy variables. I've got this variable in column A called gender, and you see that it's a qualitative variable, and so I really need to convert this to something else. Now, if all I need to do is group people into two, having M's and F's might be fine. But what if I want to do something more sophisticated, like calculate a correlation? Maybe somebody suggested that males make more than females in the workplace in our company. Well, I can start with a quick correlation. If it's really, really low, then maybe there is no investigation needed. Remember, correlation doesn't tell us about a causality, but you understand the idea. I can't calculate a correlation with M's and F's. So I'm going to create a dummy variable. Now, my dummy variable could be male or it could be female. It's not going to matter. Remember, I don't need them both. I can simply use one because, right, if we know one, then we know the other. I know you understand how dummy variables work, but let me just quickly review. A dummy variable is either a 1 or a 0, right? So if it's male, I want there to be a 1, and if it's female, to be a 0. Now, we could do this all by hand, but gosh, imagine how hard that would be if you've got 1,000 observations, and then there's opportunities to make errors. And so really, we don't want to go that route. So I'm going to erase this. Instead, we're going to use the if command. So I'm going to type above, and it's really small, but you'll be able to see what I type in cell B2. So look at cell B2. Now remember, we're going to start with that plus sign to tell Excel that we're doing something with a calculation. And then our if command. Now, our if command is really an if, then, else type of statement. So we're basically asking it, we're saying, hey, if A2 equals M, so I want us to see, does A2, cell A2, equal M? And if it does, then we want a 1 because that says male. Otherwise, we want a 0. So if the first expression is true, give it a 1. Otherwise, give it a 0. That looks right. So A2 is a male, we should have a 1. And now we can take this expression and we can copy it all the way down, right? We don't have any of those dollar signs locking in either a column or a row. So when I copy this, it's going to adjust all those numbers for me, those row numbers. So I'm just going to drag this really quick. I'm going to paste, and there we go. We have our dummy variable. Now, one thing I want to remind you of is that we do not also need a variable called female. I mean, we could code it, but do we need it? No, because if there's a 0, we don't have to have a second variable. We automatically know it's a female. It's going to look just the opposite, right? It's going to be a 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. So we don't need to code both of them. We only need one. But either way, that if statement makes it very easy. So think about when I give you assignments, when do you need to create a dummy variable and how many do you need to create? In this case, with just 2 categories, I only need 1 variable. If I had 3 categories, I need 2 variables. All right, enough about that. Let me know if you have any questions.